Hey everybody, welcome back to Rusty Wrench Restorations. I'm Steve, and today I think I'm going to attempt to tackle two projects at the same time. So, as you may or may not have seen in previous videos, I have a plethora of Cub Cadet parts down here. Now those Cub Cadet parts are going to be used in the fabrication of a Cub Cadet roller. And I'll put a picture up here if you hadn't seen the video of me kind of doing a mock-up of what it's kind of going to look like. That's the plan. And that project's been on the back burner for a while. And I've had a lot of people asking me, hey, when are you going to finally do the Cub Cadet roller? So now's the time. This is going to be the summer project. I want to get the Cub Cadet roller done. But at the same time, I've got the 1945 International Harvester TD6 dozer or crawler that I want to work on as well. So to kind of appease both crowds, because I know this tractor is very new. I have done absolutely nothing to it. I've probably had it here at my house now for a month or so, and I haven't touched a thing on it. And that's usually not how I operate. There are a lot of things that I've gone through. I've ordered some parts, things that I know I need to do. So I want to kind of do a tandem project and both of them at the same time. I've done that before and it can get a little crazy, but I think this one's going to be a little different because the crawler just needs parts to, get it running and then eventually driving, and then we'll get into the restoration. By the time I get to a restoration stage on this crawler, I'm hoping the roller will already be done. So, big changes in the power plant for this. I wanted to try to keep this roller 100% International Harvester. I still have the 7-horse Kohler engine. I had actually gotten an extra transmission. I got some final drives from a Cub Cadet Lowboy, or it was like a 185. It's just not going to work. For me to have the engine behind me and the wheels behind me and have the roller out front, I just trying to figure out how I want to do like the clutch for it, for an example. And with the clutch and the engine behind me, I'd have to do some type of like a hand clutch to pull back to try to disengage to shift gears. And even shifting gears, I'd have to have an extension shaft going from the transmission behind me up to the front. And I think it would just look a little wonky. So looking back, I thought maybe I probably should have just gotten a hydrostatic tractor to start with. The thing is I really like the style of these older, the original and the 72 and that series. So I'm just going to do a little cross-pollination here. So I know this is going to like really punch you in the gut if you're a purist, but I'm going to do a mix of the International Cub Cadet with this John Deere. So let me get around the front and I'll show you what this thing is. Alright, this is geez, I don't even remember the model number for it. It's like a John Deere F525 or something. I don't know. It's a 3-wheeled tractor. It's got the 2 drive wheels in the front, and it's supposed to have a mower deck in the front of the whole machine, which didn't come with it, and I don't need that. And then it's got a single wheel back here that steers, kind of like a funky forklift. But the reason I wanted this thing, let me lift this up. It's got a good size engine on it, and the engine and transmission and all the hydrostatics and everything are really kind of all one unit. And because of how this thing is, made and proportioned, I'm going to be able to have the drive axle behind me as well as the engine behind me. Being hydrostatic drive, it's just as simple as making some linkages for some foot pedals. So I think it's going to make this project go together a whole lot easier. So unfortunately, it's not going to have all 100% International Harvester pedigree to it, but it is what it is, right? That's just how I got to look at it. I'd rather have a better functioning machine that looks better than to try to just scab something together because I want to use just International Harvester parts. So that's it. That's the plan. Those are the two projects we're going to do through this summer at the same time. We're going to get the Cub Cadet roller going with the John Deere drivetrain in it, as well as the TD6 crawler. Getting it running. If I get it running, we'll get it moving, replace the steering clutch. Steers okay, then we'll start breaking it down for restoration. So you won't see paint on that crawler probably, at least till the fall time. So anyway, that's where we're at. Of course, we got Sideshow Bobcat still hanging out. And I didn't forget about you, Dell. We still got the 1950s Husky 3-wheel tractor. That's going to get a paint job at some point too. So anyway, not much else in this video besides I'm going to start tearing this John Deere apart. I just want to get the drivetrain components, the engine, the wheels, and all that out so that I can scrap the rest of this stuff because there really isn't any other good parts on it. And as always, make some more room for me over here. So once I've got the drivetrain out, I can start kind of doing some mock-ups of how that's going to fit in the Cub Cadet frame. But I do want to still utilize a lot of the other components. Obviously the hood, the grill, you know, I want to keep it looking like a Cub Cadet. That's the goal. So Cub Cadet roller with John Deere powertrain. All right, I'm going to start tearing this thing apart. Alright, now that I got Sideshow Bobcat moved out of the way, I'll go ahead and get this thing out where we can work on it. Definitely a lot easier using a hydrostatic than something that I would have had to try to make a hand clutch for on the international transmission. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little machine. I mean, this back wheel, it just spins on itself. It's like a zero turn basically. It's a cool little mower. But yeah, I'm gonna pull the guts out of it. Well, there it is with the plastic taken off. And when I say by taken off, I mean broken off. It's pretty old and brittle. Saved me a lot of time having to pull out all the fasteners. I did save the lights because those are working and I can probably reuse those. I may even use the steering column. We'll see. But yeah, looks like I got to get this fuel tank drained off, remove the battery, these rear wheel weights, and kind of see what I'm dealing with the frame and how this frame will match up with the Cub Cadet frame. Decided to do a little reorganizing. I know once I get this thing not running, it's not going to move very easy. It's pretty heavy. I could always use Sideshow Bobcat to get it moved around, but this way here I can just work on it here. I can park Sideshow back over here if I'm not done at the end of the day. And we got that Husky pushed in the back. But yeah, still running and driving at this point, but that's about to change right now. Alright, so I got most of the interferences off, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. So it's looking a bit different already. So the front arms that were used to raise and lower the mower deck are gone. I didn't need those anymore, so that was what was on here. These axle shafts are keyed with a single bolt for the hub, so I'm either going to have to use those same John Deere hubs or make a new hub conversion so that I can use the international wheels. And I think that's what I want to do because it just gives it more of that international Cub look. So anyway, got all that apart. I pulled all the wiring and everything that was in the front dash back. So I'm one of those, I'd rather cut less now and more later. So for now, I can probably cut this frame here, get this brace off and cut it down here. But for now, I'm just going to make a slice through here. I want to try to save this firewall because this may actually end up being the back part of where I sit. So we'll kind of get to that later. But everything's pretty much disconnected. This steering arm's got to get cut. So lots of cutting and dissecting for right now. And then we'll move to the back, get the tank off, the rear wheels, and hopefully we should just kind of have a drive system thing. Alright, I've already cut through probably about 98% of the other side. I've got a strap wrench on here, or a ratchet strap, just to kind of support this thing, and we'll make this cut kind of pretty much in there. That should free the front, and see what we're dealing with at that point. I will say I do have a torch, and I do have a plasma cutter, but I think this is the best way to try to get a clean cut, so that I might need to save this, and I want it to look right, so I don't want to have slag and cut marks everywhere. I saved this because I got to get the, this is the safety switch to press the brake to start, and I couldn't get to it, so I got to pull that off and then I'll whack that right there. So obviously my goal is to do as little as I have to take this thing apart. I want to try to keep this whole power plant together, and it's kind of funny, learn from my mistake here. I didn't disconnect the battery yet, and I still haven't removed the fuel tank, even though I was doing this cutting. I had the fire blanket over it, obviously, but I think this will still start as is, which is kind of funny to me. Let's see, choke on. This would be the neutral safety switch. Too funny. 8 months left, but it still runs and works. And we're gonna remove more from the back. So we'll start getting this bracket off. Got the weights back here, the rear wheel, and we should have a nice little compact unit here by the end of the day. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for today's video. So here's where we're at. This is where we're leaving the John Deere carcass. It's up on blocks. It's been through the hood. So I got the rear wheel assembly off. This portion is going to get cut off. This back bulkhead, I'll call it, is pretty thick. It's not quite 1/2 inch, but that's a pretty hefty piece of metal that's going to add a lot of weight. I really don't need that. Plus I want to have the Cub Cadet grill in the back, so that might get removed. I'm not sure. I don't want to cut anything off that I don't want to have to try to put back on. So most likely it'll definitely get cut from here, or possibly from the two sides. And again, this front bulkhead very well may be staying. Obviously there's some stuff I'm going to do to clean it up. I'll put a nice flat piece on there. I do have some of these hydraulic lines for the drive system that I have to contend with, so I have to make sure I don't forget about those. The tank is not going to stay there. That tank's going to get disposed of, and I'll probably use the small oval Cub Cadet tank and fit it in this area back here. I kind of like how the battery's there. I don't want to put the tank back here because got exhaust and those aren't going to mix well. But anyway, so that's where we're at. We have the power plant carcass. I don't know what else to call it. I got some good parts off it though. I am going to save the rear wheels for now. I don't want to use those. I want to be able to use these Cub Cadet wheels that I have. Like this, they get the 5-spoke. It just gives it the traditional International Harvester look. I did save the yoke for the rear wheel. I might use that for, if we turn it this way, the articulation pivot point. I might work something out with that. I had been planning on doing a system with a bunch of plates stacked with bushings and a pin, but I don't know. Things change by the day here. Got some rear weights that were on the frame weights, and the rear wheel weights, which is just one set, but I don't really know what I can use them for, but they're weights, so we'll hang on to them. So anyway, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show where the power plant for the Cub roller originated from and how we got there. Do a little hybrid John Deere International Harvester. So Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's absolutely free. And I thank you for your watching and your support, and we'll see you in the next video.